So the theory is basically that the vice president does a favor for his son in the form of official action in Ukraine.
Correct.
Okay, so where does the story behind that claim begin?
You got to go back to 2014.
44-year-old Hunter Biden, Vice President Joe Biden's youngest son, was discharged from the Navy Reserve.
Hunter Biden, who's a Yale-educated lawyer and had dabbled in various business ventures,
Biden was given a routine drug test, which he failed.
Had just been discharged from the Navy Reserve after testing positive for cocaine during a drug test.
It was the honor of my life to serve in the U.S. Navy, and I deeply regret and am embarrassed that my actions led to my administrative discharge.
And at this point, he and some partners are starting to explore international opportunities. And one of his partners gets this gig on the board of this Ukrainian gas company that is looking for some Western political connections. And Hunter Biden asks if he can get in on this as well, and he is brought onto the board of this company.
And a son of the U.S. vice president has joined the board of directors of Ukraine's largest private gas producer.
Hunter Biden was appointed to the board of Burisma Holdings.
This company is called Burisma Holdings. It does primarily natural gas, and it is bringing on to its board a number of folks with big political names in the West, and one of them is Hunter Biden. He is paid as much as $50,000 or even more in some months to serve on the board of this company and ostensibly to help it with governance reforms, to sort of introduce Western corporate governance standards into this company.
And how clear is it, Ken, that the reason why Hunter Biden is coming onto the board is because of his family connection? I mean, is it more or less explicit?
This is definitely the message that everyone in Ukraine and Washington takes away from it as to why Hunter Biden is brought onto the board. You know, his defenders point out that he had, in fact, served on other boards, including the board of Amtrak, where his dad famously has a lot of connections and clout, but he doesn't really have much other applicable experience that would suggest that he is otherwise the ideal candidate to serve on the board of a Ukrainian gas company. He doesn't have any experience in Ukraine or Ukrainian law or even in energy.
Okay, so what do we need to know about Burisma at this moment when Hunter Biden arrives on the board?
Burisma has faced allegations of corruption, including many that are embraced by the West and by the State Department, which sees it in many ways, both the company itself, Burisma, and the oligarch who owns the company, as poster children for post-Soviet corruption in Ukraine.
Ken, do we know if Hunter Biden understood this when he went on the board?
If he had done any due diligence, you would think that he should have known. There were certainly investigations that were already ongoing, both in Ukraine and in the West, into the oligarch who owned the company on suspicion of money laundering. And those investigations had support from the United States government. And that is where Joe Biden comes in.
What do you mean?
We, the United States, stand with you and all the Ukrainian people.
Well, Joe Biden at this time is vice president, and one of his key foreign policy tasks that he takes on at the assignment of President Barack Obama is to help Ukraine stand up to Russian aggression.
It is not just a foreign policy judgment. It is a personal, it's an emotional commitment as well.
And one of the things that is seen as an impediment to Ukraine establishing a stable government is this scourge of corruption that has long plagued it and is seen as limiting its ability to attract international investment and to be a stable government that can mount a response to Russian aggression.
And when is he given that assignment?
I mean, it comes pretty much at about the same time as Hunter Biden is going on to the board of this Ukrainian gas company in early 2014.
So that's kind of complicated.
It is, and it certainly would provide rationale for this Ukrainian gas company and its oligarch owner to want to have a powerful Westerner who is seen as having connections to the Obama government, which at this point is pushing Ukraine to clamp down on the very type of corruption that this oligarch and his company is seen as embodying.